Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 16 of season 18 here in F1 in Division 2 at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, the third to last race of the season. The championship still very much in the balance. And we have got a wet qualifying here around Suzuka, a dry race though, as we've just been told. So that's going to be a challenge for the drivers, what they go for in terms of setup. If they go for a full dry setup, something in between, full wet, we shall see. In terms of the championship, Gabriel leads on 209 points. Second place, Sean, 202 points. Gabriel reclaimed the championship lead with two back-to-back wins in Australia and Monaco. Kuko, 42 points back now with 3 races to go and a sprint race in Abu Dhabi. So there is a chance that he can still win this, but it's very, very unlikely, and he would need big stinkers from both Sean and Gabriel. But we should at least keep an eye out on Kuko, especially if Sean and Gabriel have got bad races. So the first couple of cars already leaving the pit lane. Well, we've already minted the qualifying. So they were adjusting setups, adjusting maybe the final few details for this this wet session. Now it's only light rain, so we are going to be seeing every single driver on the intermediates. We can remove the tire graphic, there will be no surprises there. And the first cars that came out the pit lane were the two McLarens, Viral followed by Maxi. And of course, in these wet conditions, Viral definitely a driver to look out for. We know that he is very, very quick in the wet. So I would not be surprised if we see him in the front of the field and if he can play a factor in today's race. In terms of today's grid, we have got one reserve in the V-Cup with Dylan replacing Pinky for tonight. And then we have got Cole, B29, 26, 67. In the Red Bull, he's taken a main spot for the remaining 3 rounds of the season. He was given, of course, he's a Division 1 driver, so normally he'd not be allowed to race in Division 2, but since he turned off no assist and has gotten, of course, with that a whole lot worse, he has been allowed by special permission to do these last 3 rounds of the season. And then for next season of Division 2, assuming he gets back to his previous pace, he'll be removed once again. That's something we'll look at over the course of the F1 26 preseason, I suppose. But I would say it's very likely that he doesn't keep his Division 2 seat, because the pace he had before he turned off traction control, he was definitely too fast for Division 2. He was sort of equal with Numi, and remember how it went when he was here. He got removed after 2 races from being too dominant, and with Cole having a similar pace to him, you know, fairly simple equation, but of course, turning off assist in the short term will lose you some pace as you adjust to it, and you'll also make more mistakes, just naturally. But in the long term, you should improve from that. And this gives him an opportunity to get some more races in. I'd also say, actually, he has never raced in the wet without traction control before, so this could be quite interesting to see if... oh, yep, well, he's around. And whoever that Haas was also was all out of shape, and that was Gabriel, coming through turn 1 and 2. Both McLarens messed up the laps earlier on, I saw. So Ossie is the furthest along on a push lap. Yesterday, of course, we had a good fight for the win between Viral and the 2 Saubers. And today, well, the 2 Saubers in that case being Ossie and Maxi. Today, Maxi in the McLaren together with Viral, but Ossie still in the Sauber. Went down to the line to the last lap, with Viral being hounded by Ossie for the longest time of the race. But Viral was able to hold on. And now we can see if they can carry that form into today's race. Purple sector from Ossie, of course, as he is the first one to complete a, a competitive. Of course, it's a valid lap time for Viral, and Maxi didn't invalidate. But we saw they were on low non-ERS for most of the lap, and Ossie is going to be faster by about 2 seconds there, 39.585. So that is more the pace that we can expect from everybody else as well, I would imagine. Cole and Gary both not on good laps. That up ahead is Dylan. 22.396 middle sector. I'm not sure what Aussie put in earlier, so I've got no reference at all, unfortunately. He's run out of energy as he comes into the Castiel Triangle, so no more deployment down the lineup will certainly cost him valuable tenths. And it's going to be a 1:42.05, even slower than the times from Max and Ryle, which were abandoned laps. So not a good lap from Dylan there. He can certainly do more than that. Kuko goes 5th fastest, Gabriel goes 6th fastest, Cole goes 7th fastest, Pix goes 6th fastest. Maybe those times from Varo and Maxi were not abandoned at all. Maybe Aussie is just 2 seconds clear of everybody, because no one is going in between Aussie and the McLarens right now, which is very surprising, considering there's a 2-second gap between them. There we go, Bobardino, 39.198. I think. There we go, no Pablo as well, 38.818. Just as I lost hope, it is confirmed, everyone from P4 downwards hasn't put a competitive lap in at all. Flavors, a 40.926, that puts him into 4th. Hella high off in the grass there, slowing down to let people pass, not on the push lap. That would be the Sauber of Aussie going past. Viral goes top with a 38.0568 tenths clear of second place. Clement Maxi in the back and over the line jumps into 5th with a almost 2-second improvement. So Gabri into the last corner, of course significantly up on that previous lap he did, and this could put him onto the front row. That's where he expects to be as a championship leader, and it is going to be a 38.639 indeed. So it's the front row for Gabri, 2 tenths clear of Bobardino, but 6 tenths away from Diesel Ryle, Bobardino, and Kuko just jumping into 5th place. Bobardino we'll have to look out for as well, but he's currently not on the push lap. Not sure why I thought he was. Always over the line with a 42.8, so also a lap with a lot of potential still in it. Cole through the first corner right now. Big save from him there. All out of shape. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Jere.
I completely did not forget this.
Second rig running. Let me know when you're in the game so I can invite you.
Yeah, I will let you know. We have a time when we go to sauna on Wednesdays now. It's from like 8 to 9 in my time, so like 6 to to 7 in UK time. So then I just completely forgot that this is even happening. But
Well, you've only missed the first couple of minutes of qualifying, so nothing too exciting yet. It's wet qualifying as well, so I think the times will drop a lot. The times that are on the board so far won't be that important, I think.
Yeah, I am online now. Now it's just communicating with the online services.
Alright, I've sent an invite.
Yeah, I can see. I just have to wait on the online service to work. Now I can make it.
Williams always over the line, but he's invalidated. Up next, the Haas of Gabriel on a in-lap. Then the Aston Martin of Bobardino on an in-lap. Behind that, what's that? I can't tell. The Alpine of Flavors, currently 11th with a 40.398, and he jumps into 9th with a 6/10 improvement, 39.774. Then we've got the McLaren of Viral on an in-lap, then the McLaren of Maxi on a push lap, 4 tenths up on his previous best, with a 39.6 being his previous best. This could put him surely ahead of Kuko into 7th, and maybe ahead of Bobardino into 6th as well, with a good final sector. And over the line he goes. That's a 39.097, a bit more gain the final sector indeed. He does go 6th place ahead of Bobardino. Ferrari over the line, that's Sean, and he only goes 11 fastest, 39.885, 1.8 of pole, 1.2 of his championship rival Gabri. Needs a big improvement in the next 8 minutes of qualifying. Kuko up by a full second right now. This could put him on the front row. 39.4 flat, his previous best. 38.639 second place, 38.056 first place. So you slot in right between that at the moment. And over the line for the Ferrari man, that's a 38.012, gains another few tenths in the last sector and goes right to the top of the leaderboard onto provisional pole position. 7 minutes still to go. Viral, Gabri, Ossie, Sean, they all still have the chance to answer. But for now, it is Kuko who reigns supreme here in Japan in qualifying.
The track is tricky even on dry conditions, so I would say definitely the one who comes on top in the wet is gonna be like superior at this point because of how hard it is actually to maximize the track. Like, if you think about it, this is one of those tracks where you need to carry the speed into a lot of the corners. So if you can't do it, then the lap time will be very slow in here. So while it being wet, it's gonna be a lot harder to carry that momentum, example, through sector 1.
What's interesting to me is how close the gaps are in, for example, from P3 to P5, 639, 645, 693 between Gabri, Ossie and Cole. Also on the front row, Kuko and Viral doesn't have to part. But then, I mean, you have 6 tenths between Gabri and Viral, so you can tell that some drivers are a lot more comfortable here in these wet conditions, and some are struggling maybe a bit more. Cole down by 2 tenths with a purple middle sector, but he definitely lost some time into 130R there, so he had to negotiate around one of the Williams cars. And he's broken on the grass, heading into the Casio Triangle, and that's immediate spin. A bad place as well for him to park that car, as he's right in the apex of the corner. And the lap goes down the drain for him.
So, just to be clear with you, there will be most likely some sort of like dry line on the track for the last runners, but the track itself doesn't really improve on this session. Just saying, I opened, how would I say this? I opened the telemetry software, because on the PC obviously you can, and I can see the weather pretty accurately here. So what I can see is that the track is not actually improving that much for this.
That's interesting. I thought there would be a dry line forming, because the lap times are coming down a lot. Sean just gained 1.3 seconds, goes into third position.
That's what I'm saying.
Gabri's up by half a second in the first sector.
But the dry line will come there. That is what's
I think the dry line is definitely here already.
Yeah, but anything outside of that, like the track grip or anything like that, it's just a dry line.
It's the same rainfall has been the entire session, but the actual track is drying out just from cars going around.
Yeah, exactly. It has been light rain throughout the session.
Oh, Gary! Way too far on the inside curb of Spoon, and it's sent him into a big moment of oversteer. And that cost him, I think, surely 2.5, 3 tenths. And that will be
a lot of free time
visible now. He's still up by 9 tenths though, despite that huge mistake. So the track is increasing so much in grip right now. There's not that much time left on the board though. 3.5 minutes roughly. So after this lap, has he got enough fuel? No, he's got 1 lap of fuel. This will be Gabi's last lap. He does go top, but that won't stay. Everybody else will improve massively as well, and he can't get around in time into the pit lane and back out to get more fuel into the car. So do another lap. So while he is on provisional pole for now, I think Gabri is in big trouble here.
I think Flavors will be the best like best conditions. Sorry, there's an Aston behind. But that's
Yeah, we still have 3 minutes. The people in the pit lane right now still are waiting for the best truck.
Yeah, I mean, if I was people, I would have done for the final run. I would have done a run, then out like cooldown lap, and run again. So you get more confident with the track trips as it gets better slightly. But I'm 100% sure that these guys have not practiced wet. So you could get that extra bit of knowledge of how the car acts on track. And that could be key today. But
Currently
I'm
on board.
expecting Gabri will probably drop from the top position quite far, actually, just because of the track improving.
Yeah, Aussie's up by a second right now.
Yeah.
So he will almost certainly be on the pole position now, as he's going to gain even more in the final sector, of course. But this will also be Aussie's last lap. So Aussie and Gabri have both gone a bit too early, maybe. And Aussie over the line, that's going to be a 37.342, which of course is provisional pole. Viral is on the way for his last lap. Maxi's around the final corner, up by over a second as well. And also his last lap of qualifying. 39.097 his previous best. This is going to be a 37.846, which is enough for third position. Next car over the line, the Mercedes of Hapdog on an outlap. Then the Red Bull of Cole on an outlap, and then the Mercedes of Bazooka on a push lap, finally. Currently at 11th, 39.472.
I'm gonna say this again. I'm sorry for butchering everyone's name. But Barbadinho is coming along, and he is by his time quite significantly, so there's definitely a pole contender right there. Let's see the second split.
Ooh, 1.7.
1.7. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be up there.
1.7 alone puts him ahead of Aussie, but of course other people are going to improve at the end as well. Bazooka goes 6th fastest, and then we've got Bobadinho, who's already out the last corner. He's just used all of his deployments. He's going to lose time all the way down to the line here. But it's going to be a 37.172 pole position for now. But here comes Viral. We know he's absolutely rapid in the rain. There he goes. The first driver into the 136 is 36.992. One of the Ferraris back on over the line. That is, I think, Kuko, who should start in the lap. So great timing from him with 30 seconds to go. Flavors over the line starting a lap. Then more of the Saubers. That will be Phantom starting a lap right in the end. And there's a huge group of cars at the last corner right now.
Yeah, and Dylan is not gonna make this. The track is the best conditions. Dylan has 8 seconds to go through the chicane and to the lap.
Yeah, Aussie and Hella High are going to be battling into turn 1 on the lap. Hella High actually on the soft compound, and they actually make contact, and Aussie's round. And that is a strategy mistake, I would say, from Hella High. The track is not dry quite yet, even though it has stopped raining. And that, of course, is a big chance for everybody in their last laps now to improve massively. Pix is also on the softs. Dylan Triton as well. I did not have that in my note. Papdog goes top, 36.724. As we've now got B numbers through the last corner and down to the line. Currently just running at the top 10. And he's going to jump into pole position, 35.904. The track, of course, improving massively. Bazooka off. No improvement coming there. Bobadinho not going for another lap. One of the Ferraris behind that. That is Kuko up by 1.3 seconds. 8th fastest right now, and he needs a big result in the championship here. Gabri down in 6th and will not be improving, will only fall even further. Kuko and Sean currently behind him. They need a good lap now. Get ahead of him and get themselves up the field to have the best chance of a championship run here. Kuko goes 2nd fastest. Then Maxi over the line. He's going to go into 8th. And a big group of cars then. Flavors invalidated. Then the Sauber of Phantom over the line. And he goes into 2nd position. Up next, I believe that's Edwin. And he goes into 10th. Now we've got Sean up by 1.4 seconds. The man closest to Gabri in the championship, only 7 points back. And he goes into 5th. Aussie over the line, not improving. Maxi over the line up by a second. And he's going to go into P5. And the order really jumbling up right in the end there. With the track drying out so much. That has really spiced things up. And now we will go through the grid in just a moment. It is pole position for Cole on his Division 2 debut, with no assists for the first time in a wet, apparently. So that's quite impressive from him. Phantom in second place, and then Kuko in third. Pupdog fourth, then Maxi in the fifth position. Sean starting in sixth, followed by Viral in seventh, Mourinho in eighth, Aussie in ninth, and Gabri down in P10. A lot of work to do for our championship leader. Adrian in 11th, followed by Bazooka, and then Pigs in 13th, Flavors in 14th, Dylan in 15th, Always in 16th, and finally Hella High with the strategy mistake at the end, going for the soft. Didn't even have a lap on the board earlier, it seems, since that was his best lap. Starts in 17th and last.
Yeah, one as I remember from Mexico is that people really enjoyed that I gave them a tip or two here and then. For wet, like a qualifying example, one really good tip is that don't use medium ERS mode ever. Your only ones that you should be using are none and overtake. To maximize the grip in the corners and maximize top speed on the overtake. Never use medium or hot lap on the qualifying.
That's something even I don't do, I can't lie. I just keep it medium in the wet. Maybe that's why I'm so slow in the wet.
The car will get more grip because the car doesn't push so much. So
yeah, you have less power after, you have less grip, have more grip. It makes sense.
Exactly, it makes sense, but
you don't have less grip. You just use less of it from the ERS, and you waste less ERS, which you can use down the straight then.
Exactly. I saw many people ran out of the
deployment.
ERS deployment.
Yeah.
Like before the final little straight, so we could have changed that.
That's such a huge time loss as well. From the chicane to the line, you lose surely like 3 or 4 tenths if you are non-ERS.
You lose even more. If you compare to someone who can push pretty much to the line, and then you compare someone who doesn't have the external push.
So, in terms of tire strategies, it's hards for Dylan and Always. Everybody else going for the medium of the line. I would have thought we see a few more hards, to be honest.
To be honest, I think this is the best for these two drivers, just because the hard medium strategy in Suzuka has not been, at least in my experience, the best strategy-wise. But knowing these guys, anything can happen. So this should definitely at least make it a lot more interesting to see how these hard runners will start this race.
Yeah, I quite like the hard medium around Suzuka, because you come out the pit lane on mediums with warm tires. And it's really difficult to warm those hard subs since it's a C1. So I quite like coming out the pit lane on tires that warm up a bit faster. But we'll see how that plays out later on in the race. For now, we've got the 5 red lights, we've got Cole on pole position with Phantom alongside him. It is lights out, and away we go here in Suzuka, and a good start from Cole. Phantom a little bit loose, and Kuko will try and take advantage of that. Kuko trying to go for P2, maybe P1 into turn 1. Phantom goes up the inside of Cole and goes around. Kuko has to take avoiding action off the road there, rejoins the race side by side with Pupdog, who is battling in for second place now. Pupdog swooping clean around the outside. I think Kuko had an illegal overtake there and let him go. Phantom and Viral battling side by side through the S section. Phantom on the inside line. Viral swooping around the outside, now turns to the inside for Dunlop, and that is the move done for Viral. He's up into 4th place. Phantom with an awful start. But he got quite lucky there with that collision with Cole at turn 1 to actually not end up spun around. So all in all, that could have ended a lot worse for the Sauberman. Sean up into 7th, Gabri into 9th, the championship contenders, I think both making some progress. And that is Pupdog going really, really deep at the hairpin, and Kuko as well. And now Viral right underneath his rear wing. Coming into Spoon.
It is mental how many wings we are missing from the top 10, and behind, everyone is missing an end plate.
That's very normal.
I don't know how we managed this. I think outside top 10 there's no one that has a full wing except Flavors.
Weight reduction.
I think he has full wing. That's it.
I mean, they don't use the arrow, so why have it,
Also true, I guess. Faster on straight line.
Well, it looks like they're all staying out, apart from Bobber New, who has to pit on the first lap, and Bazooka, so their damage seems to be a bit more severe. Also, had a look at his teammate Phantom to turn 1, Gabri making progress on the outside of Edwin into turn 1, up into P8. 1 lap done, 2 cars down, and he's on the back now of his championship rival, Sean Moore. Kuko a bit further up the road. This is going quite nicely for Kuko. Both his championship rivals down in 7th and 8th, while he's up on the podium. With the 42 points he has to overcome. That's really good for him, and that is Cole. At the top of Dunlop, just dropping it on traction. That's another car off, that's Viral, who is spun around halfway down the straight. He must have created a collision with someone. It's a full course safety car deployed, because both Cole and Viral spun over at once. 2 cars off on the gravel. And that's hella high as well now. Ed Deck now, who has come to complete stops. There is maybe a bit of issues with illegal overtakes there, but no penalties for anyone. Apart from Bobadinho, who gets a drive-through penalty and completely drops it on traction there. Speeding under safety car. I have a lot to say about that. I've been there.
I feel bad for poor Bobadinho just because I feel like I butcher his name like 52,000 times and then he has this also. I feel bad for the guy.
Strategy-wise, what do you do here? Especially if you're at the front. And the guys in the back can just pit, because they lose nothing.
No.
But you probably wouldn't pit if you're at the front, right?
No, stay out. It's too early to box for hards. And if you box for hards, you're on the same strategy as the couple guys. So then you just have to pit again.
Yeah, maybe all the ones with damage can switch to the hard.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise than that, I don't really... I mean...
Phantom, Sean, Edwin, Pix... I wonder... Oh, Phantom didn't have damage. Sean...
No.
Quite surprising. He's gone for a risky strategy here. Yeah, he has damage. That's why he's pitting.
If you have damage, this is the perfect time for you to pit. Straight up forward. But someone like Phantom Fox, I... really not sure.
He's not even lost that much. He was, what, 5th? Now he's 8th.
Well...
It's not that bad.
Fox P2.
Yeah, he wasn't P2. Or was he?
He was P3.
True, and then Cole spun. Well, after all the pit stops, Pupdog has inherited the lead, followed by Kuko. Gary's up to 4th place, and that is Dylan. Letting Hella High pass on the safety car. Not sure what's going on there. But he went off into grass to allow Hella High through. I'm not sure if Dylan overtook him under safety car earlier or something. Yeah.
By the way, Dylan is on a really good place right now. Starting on the hards, he started on what, P16 I believe? He's up to P7.
Hold on, position changes. He's up 8 places. Hella High is up 11. Flavors is up 9.
Yeah, obviously it helped that most of the guys boxed from the front. Yes, but still. You haven't boxed yet. You are P7 and P6. You started from the back.
I mean, everyone in this race has a pit stop to make, and a tire advantage of 2 laps that Phantom has over Dylan is...
non-existent in here, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big. It's not going to be the deciding factor whether Phantom gets past him. If Phantom gets past him, he's just faster.
It's percentage-wise, it's probably going to be around...
5?
I would say 7, maybe? I can actually see...
With the safety car, probably 5, right?
Hold on, I can see... some of the guys' data. I can see that.
Yeah, some of them have telemetry sharing on.
Yes, so I'm not gonna be dropping names or anything here, but I can see that example. The highest tire wear on the mediums right now is 12%. Obviously they have not boxed yet. On the hard runners, well, I can't give Dylan's info out because he doesn't have it public. It'd be actually kind of cool to, at least for the final race, as I have big plans for it, as I told you. Maybe we could try to get the guys put this like live, and we could keep an eye out even more on that.
Yeah, it's very nice when you have these stats. You can't really do it in the sweaty esports races because they all cry about it, having to leak the.
Yeah, definitely not for them, but for something like this, I think it would be fun that, especially I know some of the drivers might be listening, they could take an advantage. Someone like Dylan example right now. If he's listening, he knows some of the medium runners are on 12%. There is gonna be the dropout in just couple laps because the first dropout is the 25% mark. So soon there will be the first like higher drop on the mediums, and that's Dylan's sign to go for the moves.
Yeah, at a different track, I would say, would be in a very good spot, but it's so hard to overtake around here that Dylan and everyone who pitted on the safety car are gonna have a tough time getting through those medium runs at the front, I feel like. And yeah, once those guys pit, the advantage that they have in behind with the 2-lap tire advantage they've now built up with pitting on the safety car sort of evaporates. Safety car's been called in.
This is again, my mind is speaking from the F3 drivers in PSGL. They are not gonna make these moves happen just because everyone parks it. Here, I've learned anything can happen.
I mean, we saw it yesterday in Division 3, and there wasn't a whole lot of moves happening anywhere. They were also very much stuck. Gabri, very close behind Ossi, who's had an awful restart. Kuko already over a second clear. And now Gabri with the slipstream down towards turn 1, goes for the inside line. Ossi, aggressive defense, and Gabri backs out there. But Ossi goes deep, and now Gabri's back alongside on the exit. Is he going to try and hold that around the outside into the section? Surely not. Surely he has to back out, and he does. Gabri playing it safe, thinking about the championship. Does not want to go for an all-or-nothing Hail Mary dive halfway through the S-section, which would likely end up with both of them in the wall.
I respect that he backed out.
Whoa, Phantom! Sorry, big slide for him at the top of Dunlop, but a good catch.
Yeah, so I respect that the fact that Gabri backed out, but Gabri was also entitled for the space for the right-hander as well if he kept it there. But it's
yeah, but
always
the thing is, you can talk all in the insert report after. You can talk all about being entitled to space, and that's not your fault. It doesn't give you the points back when you're in the wall. And when you're in a championship fight, the points are what you need, not to be correct in the steward support, you know. So sometimes it's smart to just be a pussy, you know.
Yeah, and I've learned that most of the drivers, like, either they are on the point that they just don't care if they get spin around, but obviously if you're in championship fight, you have to take caution sometimes to avoid these kind of silly stuff happening, and you losing your front wing, you being in the wall, getting spun.
Battle for the lead right now as Papdog is being attacked by Kuko down towards turn 1. No DRS yet. Kuko's gonna have to try and do it the old-fashioned way and just runs out of straight line at the end. Bombardino now into the pit lane to serve his speeding penalty, his drive-through penalty, and gets a speeding penalty in the process. Further insult added to injury for him, and his race firmly down the drain.
I mean, if I was Bombardino, like, if this was any other league, I would probably think about like, maybe retiring.
But you would never retire an Total, right? Because it's so great.
Well, that too, but also the fact that
true, safety car, yeah. I mean, yeah, respect to him for still going. I honestly think many drivers in this field would have retired right then, when he sped in the pit lane. But he's still out there. Of course, if there's no safety car, I'm fairly certain he will not be scoring points. But a safety car is not unlikely at all, I would say. As we have got Edwin with a little spin on the exit of the hairpin, off into the grass, and drops behind everyone onto the back of the train, but he's still in the train, so not the end of the world for him.
Okay, I'm gonna give I don't know if Dylan is listening me, but Dylan with the older hearts, he should start pushing now all out from this car, because his tires are better than the mediums from now.
Yeah, and Hella High has got no battery, he's low on fuel as well, by the way, he's underfueled the car. So Hella High would be vulnerable. Right now though, Dylan actually rather looking vulnerable towards Phantom in behind. As Phantom is only 3/10 back from him coming up on the straight, and now Dylan has got nothing can do against that. Phantom will take 7th position off him and be the leading car of the train of people chasing after the front train. Pigs has crashed!
Oh my! And there's the... No, but Bombardino didn't get a chance. Wait, you can... Can you serve 10 seconds?
Yeah, you can serve 10 seconds on the safety car. He can pit now and serve it. I'm not sure what happened to Pigs, unfortunately. I didn't see his stricken car anywhere, but he crashed halfway through turn 1 I'm not sure how you do that. Well, I know how to crash there. I don't know how you crash there in a way that you DNF, because you have to hit a wall, realistically.
I think there has been contact. I'm watching like backwards stream and like who is he fighting with, and he's fighting with the McLaren of typical Max. So I would assume there is maybe contact leading into the barriers. I'm not sure. But
Oh,
right
now
now,
the safety car. 20 laps to go. You could pit for hards here and make it to the end.
yes. Now you can be and go for the like till the end. Now obviously this safety car screws up Dylan the most, getting up there into P8, and now safety car is gonna ruin all his progress basically, because he will be one pit stop behind everyone. At least that's what I'm gonna assume. That's
So, the
what
leading
I'm
pack
gonna
coming to the
see.
final corner. Now we see what strategy they go for. I do think most of them will come in.
Yeah, boxing,
If not all of them.
Boxing.
Hella High, of course, left in double stack, so he's gonna actually stay out rather than take the double stack, of course.
Stays out. Oh,
Dylan is in as well. Okay. Sean is back in for the
Dylan.
second time.
That's
Oh my,
really-
okay. Almost everybody is in, including the guys who pitted on the first safety car. The only ones staying out then are Hella High, Phantom, and Cole on mediums.
I respect
One of the
Dylan,
strategy calls of all time from Cole.
I respect Dylan trying this, but I also assume Dylan is hoping for a massive safety car. As we saw, it's just a matter of time, basically, when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not sure
So-
what Dylan is playing at, because he could have just stayed out if he's hoping for safety car and been like
also
third.
True. Also true. I think, yeah, he would have been
Third. Yeah, he was between Phantom and Cole. For your sake,
Yeah, so-
B292667 is Cole. I'm not calling him that. That's not a name.
Oh. Okay.
Alternatively,
I'm gonna
B
forget
numbers.
that, and I'm just gonna call him B,
Yeah, that works.
most likely.
B numbers.
something. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm a bit confused all about like everyone's strategies. I don't understand why Hella High stayed out, because he will lose more now if he boxes
Yeah, with
now.
double stack he would have lost maybe 1 or 2 places, and with this strat
Yeah.
he will
And
lose
now
a whole
you're
lot
gonna
more than that.
be-
I feel
Now
like.
he's gonna be behind Viral if he boxes, I think. Around there.
I think he wants to stay. Just wants to stay out now, and lead the race after the
his
restart.
tires are not that bad. If we want to talk about
Yeah, I mean,
like,
most of those
who-
laps on these put on these tires have been under safety car, so you can go a bit longer than you would normally on the medium. And if there's one more safety car, he can. Well, he will still be dead last, but he will have a tire advantage over everybody else, which I guess is something.
Yeah, I can see that. Obviously, I can also see Hella High's tire wear, so I can tell you it's not that bad actually.
Oh, Dylan! I see. Now I understand the strategy.
He's gonna box for another set of hearts, I assume.
Yes.
So yeah, Dylan is going till the end, except if there is a late safety car, I would assume.
Yeah, that's a play you used to see a lot back in the day, around F1 20... I think 22 it was, when it was basically always the meta to start on the harder compound, and then go for the softer compound later on. And then if you had a safety
Yeah.
car, basically everybody would have to do it, to pit twice under the same safety car. And now Dylan is bringing it back. And he has
Yeah,
a huge
respect.
1 lap tire advantage over everybody up to P5, so basically Dylan will be P5 at least by the time we are in turn 1.
P5 is maybe a bit of a stretch, launching from P16, but
I believe.
to be fair, I wouldn't be shocked. After
don't break.
witnessing the couple races, there's definitely that the chaos can happen in turn 1. Like, I don't remember myself personally seeing ever a safety car in Monaco. These guys brought it to me. I had never witnessed it. in
Well, not just one of them.
but like, I haven't seen. It's always virtual.
I think it does help that we have, because every single league that I race in does reduce for some reason, which you never get safety cars. We have it on increased at this point, which I think for next season I would like to turn it back down to at least standard, because I think we get a bit too much safety cars right now. But it adds a bit more, especially for Division 3 and 2. Yeah, a bit more drama. I like it.
The Rabe is always fun.
So, safety car's been called in, hella high now, slowing down the pack, and I think he's gone very early there on the entry into the last corner, and he has caught Phantom a little bit off guard, not too much. Phantom is about 5 tenths back, so not in position to make a move to turn 1, but he's staying with him. We've got Pupdog right in the back of Edwin with a 5-lap tire advantage, while Edwin might be losing that 4th place immediately. No, holds on to it just about. Gabri though against Ossi. Ossi goes deep into turn 2, and that is Gabri with a beautiful move. Past him this time around, didn't have to back out, he was fully past him coming into the S section, and Ossi couldn't do anything against that. Ossi is all over the place right now, and now being passed as well by Flayers, and off into the grass he goes, rejoins! Horrible rejoin by Ossi, thankfully for Sean. He got away scot-free from that, but Ossi rejoining right back onto the racing line in the S section with cars coming by him. Not sure what's going on with him, he seems to be really struggling. As he's now side by side with Bazooka into Degner, and he has got 2 more cars in behind. That's Viral and Bobodinho trying to get around him. And Bobodinho now on the grass, around the outside of the McLaren of Viral. So the inside for the hairpin, and he gets him on traction. Well, Viral comes back at him, and they are now side by side on the run down towards Spoon. Bobodinho will have the inside line for Spoon, that should be an advantage for him. Viral and Bobodinho bang wheels, Viral goes off the track there, and that is Dylan slipping up the inside, up into 15th. And now, Viral back on the attack of him. Meanwhile at the front, that's Pupdog getting past Edwin with that tire advantage. And Edwin now vulnerable as well to Kuko with better tires behind him. Out in front, hella high has got Phantom under control somewhat. Edwin with a bad exit on those old tires. There comes Kuko and gets 5th place off him. Gabri is too far back. He'll have to settle in behind Edwin for another lap, or at least for another few corners until he can get a good overtaking opportunity, maybe into the hairpin.
Yeah, I'm seeing again stuff that I have never seen before. Example, going too wide in deck necks. I have never witnessed that before, and somehow we made it work here. But it is that there's like these fighting pairs all around the track right now, which is nice to watch and see how they like go on. But
Edwin slow on the exit of Degner, and Gabri might have a look up the inside. No, Edwin goes really deep though, trying to cover Gabri's send. That wasn't coming anyway. And Gabri now on the exit is alongside him. Has to go the long way around though, through this double right-hand kink, which returns the inside for Spoon though. And that should be the move done for Gabri, as Edwin on the older tires can't hold on around the outside. But crucially, no slipstream, no DRS for Gabri. Edwin might have a chance to get back at him. But Gabri is already half a second clear with a bit more ERS left in the tank. And Edwin is going to have teammate Flavors behind him on fresh tires. So maybe a team order coming at Alpine anyway. Out in front, Pupdog currently not in DRS range. That's hella high with a spin into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he wanted to pit, but he had no option there as he spun around. And now we've got Cole in the Slipstream Phantom into turn 1. Hella high, drops on traction out of the Casio Triangle and loses out on the lead. And rejoins the race in last place after the pit stop.
yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Just traction, I
Maybe
think.
it's just a
Oh, Edwin's gone off!
plus.
On the first corner of the S section somehow, and he rejoins in 9th between Maxi and Bazooka. This race going all over the place right now.
The biggest question for me
And now
is
another
that
one, always.
is there gonna be
I'm sorry.
there, like, not sure what's going on here, but the biggest question mark for me is Max gonna get a penalty? Is there a contact between him and Pix on the start? I don't know. I can't say, but I would assume so. at the moment.
Out in front, we have got Cole and Phantom. Still have not been caught by anyone. Kuko, in the meantime, has gotten past Pupdog and up into 3rd place now, chasing after the race leaders. And he is essentially the race leader, of course. They have to make a pit stop. He does not. But it's a long tire stint, 20 lap on hards. I'm not convinced that everyone will be going to the end on those tires. In a normal race, for sure, in a race that we're used to. But these guys have a bit more tire wear, of course, being on pad and just not having as much experience in tire saving. Cole now with the slipstream and a DRS will take the lead into turn 1 of Phantom Fox. Phantom does not try and hold that around the outside. Despite the mediums being 10 laps old, they still seem to have some pace left in them. As Max gets 7th of Sean, Bazooka and Edwin swap into turn 1, Bobberdini and Aussie swap into turn 1. Moves happening all throughout the field on that little DRS straight.
Yeah, like, the tire wear between Phantom Fox and B is only 7%. So it's not that much. So Phantom has definitely used the tires more than B. So maybe that's something also to look at.
Well, now we have got a train forming. The entire top 5, top 6 now flavors as well in the DRS to each other. Bobberdini's gotten Edwin for P10. Edwin goes into the back of him and picks up wing damage on the front right end plate, flying off. And Aussie will have to try and get around him before he loses too much time to Bobberdini to hang on to do P10, have a chance of a point still. Back towards leaders as they come onto the main straight once more. Pupdog is Phantom is quite far behind. Cole, 6/10 a gap coming into the Casio triangle. Not really anyone in position to make a move on the car ahead of them. As Aussie has gotten past Edwin. And now Dylan goes in the back of Edwin into 130R. Hopefully no damage for Dylan there. He has got damage. Front left end plate missing on the V-Cab. And Edwin has gone off the track a little bit. Rejoined side by side with Viral. Viral all over the curb. And gets past Edwin. Edwin cuts across the grass almost into the pit wall. To get into the pit lane and get that wing changed. Swap for 7th there as Sean with the DRS passes Maxi for P7. Pupdog has lost DRS to the top 3. And it's now under pressure from Gabri behind, of course, who sees one of his championship rivals, Kuko, up ahead. Driving away, and he can't be letting that happen. He needs to get involved in the fight and make sure Kuko doesn't gain as many points and get himself back into the championship fight all of a sudden. Edwin onto mediums with 13 laps to go. Those should last, but it is a long stint, so he is going to struggle at the end for tire wear a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Pupdog got back in the DRS pretty straightforward in the first sector already, so there's no gap between that. But Sean is trying to push the gap down. And he is making that successfully, but the question remains to me is that, is he burning out his tires? How is the tire wear gonna look? Because example, someone like Flavors, he's in the train and he has no worry on the tire wear.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how it plays out over the next... if they're gonna have to pit again, they're gonna pit sooner rather than later. And not run the risk of getting a puncture at the end. And now we've got Gabri right behind Pupdog on the main straight. But Pupdog has got DRS in the cars ahead. That's going to make it very difficult for Gabri to get the move done. Pupdog goes deep. Gabri has to look up the inside, but Pupdog got the car stopped in the end for turn 2. And had it covered off. Dylan back into the pit lane. So he is not going to the end, it seems. And also with a wing change. The damage too much for him to continue on with. And that will drop him probably behind Edwin.
Yeah, I think Dylan is just pretty much messed up. I think the correct decision for Dylan would have been stay out on the hots, hope for the safety car.
Yeah, it's working out quite nicely right now. Phantom and Cole still out in front.
Yeah, and also Dylan is already or also now hoping for a safety car. So it's like he didn't really gain anything.
Thing is, it is time for Cole to make a pit stop soon. So the medium will be quite worn out by now, 12 laps old. It's around the time you do a stop normally after 12 laps. Gabri once again close behind Pupdog, but is it close enough as Pupdog's got a bit less ES? So maybe there's an opportunity for Gabri into turn 1 with a good exit. The cars up ahead, all locked in a stalemate, and that is Cole into the pit lane. Gabri with a big slide and a big catch for the championship leader. That was almost a race-ending mistake there for him. Flavors might try and take advantage, but he's just a bit too far back to make the move on Gabri, so they all stay where they are. And Cole with a tire change on to Of the Hearts, go to the end of the race. He's going to come out in P13, maybe 14, behind Hella High, I think. It will be 13, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Not that far behind the train, so points definitely still possible for him, even if there's no safety car.
Points definitely possible. Fighting for any better positions, yeah, that's a safety car hope that we are holding up for the... I would say probably the... anyone outside of 10 is hoping for a safety car, because Ossi
Plus
is
Phantom,
also...
yeah.
Ossi is really far from the front pack. So
I don't think Shaw might mind one either, because he kind of needs to get back towards Gabri, get involved in the fight at the front, and that would be a whole lot easier with the safety car rather than trying to make up this 2-second gap that he has right now.
That is also something to take into consideration.
Surprising to me that Kuko has not made the move on Phantom yet. Now Phantom hasn't got the ES in the car ahead of him, so Kuko a whole lot closer, and this could be the lap that finally we see the lead change, and that could be Kuko's chance to try and build a 1-second lead, as Phantom, of course, all the tires will be slower than everybody behind him. And now the slipstream with the DRS, with the all-tech button enabled, Kuko gaining on Phantom and going past him into the first corner. Now with the 5-lap tire advantage, can he get the 1-second gap this time around? Flavors has dropped DRS to Gabri as well in the meantime. He seems to be struggling a little bit now. And Gabri still staring at the back of Pupdog, still not found his way around him.
I'm not sure if Pupdog is having some kind of issues or something, but he is the one running the highest amount of wear, except Phantom Fox in this top 5. So he seems to be pushing a bit more than the others. So I don't know if there is a problem maybe, or we're just really sure. But he's on the higher end of the caliber on the tire wear. He is definitely making it till the end. There is no question on that. But the question is, why is the tire wear still so high?
Maybe he just has to push a little bit more to stay in this train. I mean, Kuko and Gabri, for example, are championship contenders, and Pupdog, he's a solid driver, but he's not a championship contender in Division 2 here. So he's racing with drivers a little bit above his pace, so he has to just push a bit more than them to keep up the pace in this train.
Well, that's
something
fair.
I think we saw as well in E-Series mainly, when our drivers were staying in trains with the eSport guys. They had a bit more tire wear than usual because they had to push more to stay with them.
Yeah, they had to push a lot more.
Yeah.
It was...
So actually, crazy concept, guys. The guys who get paid to play this game, they are quite decent. They have got some pace.
Yeah, they were on a next level compared to us, and I thought we are on a really good level. But yeah, against them, we really needed to push a lot out of the car that we were not expecting.
Time penalty for Edwin, fast lap race from Dylan. And Phantom almost off DRS range. He was off DRS range halfway through the S's. He has gained a little bit back now. But Kuko definitely has the opportunity to get the 1-second lead. He has got a bit of ERS charge as well left over. Phantom also will soon use the pit lane, I would say. He's surely not going to the end on those 15-lap old mediums.
It's not gonna be fun, and it's gonna be on the limit. But if he can save a bit, I would say he can go. His tire wear is actually really good on this hard tire compound. So if he can just tiny bit more save, he can go till the end.
Yellow flag for an Alpine after Degner 2, so that is Edwin. So the mistake, a 3-second time penalty now for Owais, and still this DRS train completely locked in a stalemate. But Pupdog has now got absolutely no ERS down the main straight, and that is Gabri's opportunity to burn everything he has, get alongside him on the outside. Bazooka into the pit lane, and they make contact. Pupdog is round on the inside of turn 1, squeeze on the apex, and Pupdog, a great save though, to only lose to one position to Flavors, and of course to go on to Gabri as well. And another yellow flag now on the main straight. I'm not sure why. That was Always who was crashed coming out the last corner and almost got into the pit wall. As Bazooka is in the pit for a change on the mediums, didn't think he could make the end, and he comes out the pit lane just ahead of Always in P13. So that collision between Gabri and Pupdog, I'm not sure. It was happened quite quickly, so I'm not going to give any judgment on it. I'll be doing that later, I imagine, if it gets supported. But that could be an issue for Gabri if there's a penalty hanging over his head, because it's fairly close here. Flavors, Pupdog would jump him, probably Sean as well. That would be a huge amount of points lost in the championship fight, if there were to be a penalty for him. And I'm not sure if he left Pupdog enough space. That's something that I have to look at later.
Do you want to know something funny? You have to remember, I have not asked anyone to send me data. I put a random port in my game, so to get the data, and it happens to be the exact same port as Phantom Fox is using. If Phantom Fox keeps up like this, with this exact tire wear that he's currently doing, okay, this lap was a bit too high, just tiny bit less, he will end up exactly 80% on the finish line.
Oh, so you can go gambling. He's gonna be above 80, because also once you get closer to 80, you start sliding more, you get more tire wear. So there's no way he keeps it below 80, I think.
But he can slide the rears pretty much as he wants.
Oh, it's the front now.
It's the front left that is dying on Phantom.
And he is now losing a bit more pace as Kuko once again has him almost out in the S range. He's definitely not gonna hold on to that second place. But a podium? Maybe? Pupdog has lost a good bit of time again, as he maybe picked up damage. Not visually, at least, from the incident with Gabri. But Sean is catching up to him, and that could be a move lining up for Sean for 5th position.
And I can confirm Pupdog does not have damage. I can confirm that.
Okay, that's interesting then. He's lost so much pace after that collision with Gabri. So now no longer being in the DS train, and in fact be 2 seconds back from Flair. Not sure if he made a mistake, or how that's happened. But it happened, and he's now in the duel with Sean.
All I can say is that I cannot see damage on that car.
Coming back onto the main straight now. Gabri, he's going to want to try and get past Phantom to challenge Kuko for the race win. It would be very, very crucial for him to solidify his lead in the standings with the last 2 races coming up. And he should get around Phantom at some point. The question is, will he have enough time left after that to recharge EIS and get Kuko as well? Phantom definitely doing Kuko a solid there. The longer he holds on to 2nd place, Kuko will not be worried about Phantom at all. And in fact, it wouldn't be the worst idea, I think, for Kuko to keep Phantom in his DRS range.
Yeah, I mean, for Kuko's sake, he should definitely keep Phantom in the DRS, just to have that a bit more protection from Gabri. But also, again, we get into the part that I don't know how much these guys are using their brains meanwhile the race.
Oh, I've seen some brain moments. It's not unheard of
well,
that there's brain usage.
If there is a brain usage now, Kuko would keep the gap to Phantom in the 1st and 2nd sector around the 7/10, and then let him have DRS on main straight.
So exactly what he's doing right now. So there is brain usage confirmed. We have found intelligent life.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but yes.
He's letting him a bit close right now. Like, if he gets passed by a guy who hasn't pitted since lap 3, that's a sackable offense, but I don't think he will. Phantom is doing a great job holding the 2nd place. It's not just the DRS from Kuko, he's just being completely mistake-free right now, and not allowing any opportunity for Gabri.
Yeah, Phantom Fox has the capabilities of going till the end.
Oh, and Pupdog! Sorry for interrupting there, Pupdog. Overtaken by Sean Moulton in turn 1, and this time he definitely has damage as he went into the back of him after Sean completed the move into turn 2 now. And the front end plate on the Mercedes is flown off, and that's going to cost him the chance to come back at Sean. And he is almost certainly going to finish in P6 at best now, with Bobolino in behind, only 2 seconds back, with a fully functioning front wing chasing after him.
Okay, now I'm not sure what's going on. Now I have all of a sudden Bob Dog's data. So yeah, Bob Dog has 46% right side. So, oh my, and there he goes into the wall. And
Damn.
he
And a
retires.
full car
And
safety
he
car.
leaves the session.
He's just... Okay,
Okay,
he's
well-
a straight line. Yeah, he has crashed
Yes.
intentionally.
Yes, that was definitely an intentional crash.
The car's
did
still
not
moving,
see-
actually.
Like, he did not...
I think he didn't
Stop
brake
the
for the
car.
corner, hit the wall, it didn't DNF, and then pressed retire from session. And it's a drive-through penalty for Owais now speeding a safety car. And that safety car really spices things up. You're surely going to pit for fresh tires. I mean, these tires are very old. But then again, maybe not.
Well-
Maybe someone like Cole on the fresher hards could try and stay out, hold
he-
on for dear life.
But also, as you can see how hard it is to overtake.
Yeah, but
Someone
that's
like
with a
Gabriel-
fairly close tire difference. Like, if you go on fresh soft or fresh mediums now, you're going to be seconds lap faster, and that's a tire difference where overtakes are not just possible but easy.
Okay, now I am on Sean's data.
Oh,
This is
Maxi,
switching every-
Aussie, Viral. That's okay.
Yes,
That's three
yes,
people
yes,
staying out who I
yes,
know for a
yes.
fact are in a voice call together, and I've got an engineer with them.
Yes.
2 drive-through penalties in Always. What are you doing?
I love the shout of this that they are staying out. Why?
Why is Kuko on hards? 2 drive-throughs and a speeding penalty in the pit lane. Always. Okay, he's out. Okay, he just wants to get to the pit lane as
That
fast as
makes
possible. I get it now. But like I said, Viral, Aussie, and Max. I don't know for a fact, but from what I know, they are in voice call together during races. They are mates, and they usually have either Jeremy or Sully engineering them. So I'm not sure if that was but I think they decided together that they all stay out, because the more people stay out, of course, the higher the chance that it works, because there's more cars that the likes of Phantom, Gabri, and so on will have to go through.
They don't have a race engineer. We did get confirmed on that.
Okay, are they in the stream? Okay.
No, they are in Discord.
Yeah, but are they hearing the stream? Okay, that's interesting though.
That's actually really nice. That I know that now that someone.
Are you
is
guys
listening
working together
to
though?
this.
Is this a team play?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it between the McLarens, but if the Sauber is part of this, in my eyes, that crosses a bit of the lines.
If it was PSGL, they'd probably ban them just for being in the same VC. Talking from experience.
Not anymore.
But
Not anymore.
true, they've
Anymore.
changed the rule. Yeah, we are now allowed to talk to each other again. That's no longer banned. It's a
Yes.
great rule, wasn't it? I wouldn't call that. If Aussie now like slams on the brakes on the restart and lets Viral through, that's not allowed. But it's mutual benefit. It's like when you DRS swap every lap together. Same thing in my eyes. Because
Yeah, okay.
for all of them, it's better if there is more people on the strategy.
Yes. Right now, it looks really solid the win for Max. If
I wouldn't
they
say
play their
the
cards
win,
right-
because it's a tire advantage of 15 laps.
Let me check if I can see some data of these guys. So
I
I
think
can't see
Kuko-
the McLarens.
Kuko
but I
being on
can
hards
see-
is going to really help them, because he will not have warm tires on the restart either. And Phantom, Gabri, Flavor, Sean, Bobadinho, Cole, Helahai, Bazooka, Dylan, Edwin are all going to be trying absolutely everything to get around people and get around Kuko, while Kuko needs to warm the tires up before he can start getting around Viral, Aussie, and Maxi. So it's definitely an interesting scenario, and I could see this working. But I could also see it going terribly, horribly wrong for all three of them when they end up like dead last.
So there is, as I was trying to say, like if Max, Aussie, and Viral plays their cards right, Max is gonna win this. But there is also the scary part of Phantom, Fox, Gabri, and Flavors, I would say, that they are on softs. They will be wrapped for the first 2 laps. There-
Well, in comparison to the top three, they will stay wrapped. But Kuko is playing the long game a little bit. What he needs to do essentially is hold on against Phantom on the restart.
Yep.
And if he can try and get Viral in between himself and the soft runners, and then by the time the soft runners get up towards him, their tires will have run out a little bit, and he can make this work. Safety car has been called in, so 3 laps of racing. So essentially, what Kuko needs to do is pass 1 car a lap to win this race. That's doable.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't understand why he went to hard since we're only racing 3 laps, but who knows, maybe he cooks on these. I don't know.
Maybe he knows something we
I
don't.
don't see the value.
The C1 is better. So, Maxi has restarted the race. And it's a slow restart from Viral, a very slow restart from Viral, and I'm not going to give conspiracy theories, but that might not be a coincidence. Kuko's going to pass him to turn 1 surely. Viral, no slipstream from the cars ahead, and Kuko with a big tire advantage will have the grip to go around the outside. Or does he, as he gets squeezed off and goes way off the track, and Phantom and Gabri slip through, and that is Kuko's championship, I think, down the drain. As he's rejoined right ahead of his teammate Sean. Might be a time for a team order there as well, but Kuko at the moment probably not in the mood for that. Very frustrating he'll be as Phantom goes around the outside in the middle of the air section into the Dunlop to the inside. Both Phantom and Gabri slip through. Viral trying to come back at Gabri on Easton of deck now, but has to back out. That would have been absolute suicide. And now he's got Flavors in behind him. Next car trying to make a move on him. Viral dropping places left, right and center, and he's the one who's been left out to dry here. The last of the guys who stayed out. And he's the first man out the fence, and he is being absolutely steamrolled as Flavors has gone right around his outside into the hairpin. Up next, Kuko, second time around. As Phantom is already making a move on Aussie. And of course, the Saubers, well, that's no coincidence as well. Gabri, though, taking advantage of that as Phantom was let through easily. Gabri slips through, and Phantom gets Maxi on the exit as well. After just 1 lap, Phantom has gone from 5th to 1st. Maxi trying to come back at him to 130, but he won't have traction surely. Look at that. And now comes Gabri as well, on the outside, into the Casio triangle, and that will be Gabri up in the 2nd place as surely. Oh, Maxi trying everything he can, but the grip just is not there. And that is Phantom and Gabri up into the first 2 positions, and they will be finishing this race in 1-2, I'm fairly certain. Flavors now, alongside Aussie down the main straight. They are side by side, wheel to wheel into the first corner, and Flavors with a tyre advantage, going to swoop around the outside. But Aussie tries to get back up the inside, into turn 2. Gives it everything he's got. But into the air section, now the grip of the tires comes into play, and he has to back out. Flavors up into 4th, and up next Maxi. Can Flavors find a way around him sooner rather than later as well? The top 2 are gone, but if we can get past him here, he has a nice little buffer to Kuko and Sean behind. Oh my god, that's Cole and Bobbardino side by side into Degna, and that is great respect racing from them as Cole is spun off. Immediate commentator's curse.
I'm watching the standings a bit. Phantom Fox enjoying his life on P1. Seeing Kuko P6 with a penalty. Oh yeah, Phantom Fox is loving his life. He doesn't care about Gabri. Gabri is ahead of Sean. Sean is... Where is Sean? Sean is P7. So there's no worries on that part either. And if Phantom Fox wins this race, he will be fighting for the P3 with Kuko and... for Bobbardino.
Coming into the last lap now, Gabri is very close behind Phantom, but he has used a lot of EAS to get into this position. He will have the EAS into the first corner. This could be his best chance, but it's an awful exit from Gabri, and that is Phantom safe into turn 1. Flavors now, he should get Maxi surely into the first corner. Gabri has one more chance into the lap, into 130R, into the Casio triangle for the win in this race. He's not going to go all or nothing for that, because both Sean and Kuko are absolutely nowhere. Sean with a battle against Bobbardino, battling for 5th here, so at least 10 points going his way, but that would still be an 8-point swing in favor of Gabri right now, a 15-point swing if Gabri manages to get past Phantom at the last corner, and that would be an early decision in the championship fight in favor of Gabri with 2 runs to go. Of course, sprint race in Abu Dhabi is going to play a factor, but Phantom surely wants this race win for himself, for Sauber. Gabri, 50% EAS, Phantom 50% EAS, well, fairly equal. Gabri is very, very close. And he's got that one opportunity.
We are... Oh, that's...
a crash for Kuko, and that is firmly the end to his championship hopes. As I think he'll even be out of contention mathematically here with that. And Gabri, up the inside, into Spoon! Surely not! Phantom gives him the room! Gabri is still there on the inside, but can't get the run from the corner, and now he has a bad exit, and Phantom has got way more EIS, and I think Phantom has got this wrapped up as we head into 130R. Gabri is already at 0% EIS, Phantom now pulling away, and it is gonna be Phantom who wins the Japanese Grand Prix as Gabri mismanaged the EIS just a little bit over these last 2 laps. But for Gabri, this is a great result as well. Sean got back up to 4th place, so it's a 6-point swing in favor of Gabri. The gap increases from 7 to 13 points, but it is Phantom Fox who wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Flavors with a great result in 3rd place, and a fast lap the Grand Prix as well for the bonus point. Sean in 5th, Maxi and Aussie, great defense from them to hold on to 5th and 6th. Viral actually pinned for soft at the end, so this strategy didn't work at all. Bobodinho, Dylan, Bazooka, look at how close that was in the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. And then finally, Cole started for pole position, at least gets a point out of it after all the chaos in this race. Hella high in 11th, then Viral got the fast lap of the race, stole it back from Flavors at the end to at least get himself 1 point out of this race. Edwin brings the car home in 13th, and finally Kuko had left the lobby already in 14th, and he is going to be, well, absolutely devastated with that. That is an end to Kuko's championship hopes, as he has lost, of course, 18 points to Gabri in this race. Coming into this race, he was 42 back. He is now 60 points back. And with there being 52 points on offer for the 2 races and 12 points for a sprint, actually 64 points on offer, Kuko is just about within mathematical contention. Phantom is not anymore. He was 73 back on Gabri, so he has not been able to get into the 64-point gap. So it is now officially a 3-way title fight, and realistically a 2-way title fight between Sean and Gabri, with a big advantage in favor of Gabri here, as he has picked up another podium. Driver of the day to Flavors, and I can't say I disagree with that. Starting from 14th on the grid, getting himself a podium. What a race that was.
That was definitely something. Like, I was just watching the standings like lap before the ending, and it's gonna be really fun to watch. There's 2 races left, and it's gonna be a title charge in the top between Gabri and Sean, then fight for P3 between Kuko, Borbonino, and Phantom Fox. Then there's fight for P6 between Pop Dog. I don't remember if Pinky was still driving. I think he is.
He's still driving, but he wasn't here today.
Yeah, so Pinky, Flavors, Pop Dog fighting for that P6. Even Bazooka and Peaks can get into that. And if Aussie has one great race above them, he can also join that. Like, we have so many things that could still happen in this. It's gonna be really exciting to watch these last 2 races.
Yeah, and of course next week we've got the reverse championship sprint grid race. So I'm very excited to see that playing out as well. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yeah, like I said, 2 races left to go in the season, 2 races left to go on this game on F1 25. We will be back after that on F1 26 with the, well, that was a lie. It is still on this game, on the DLC. Can't wait for that. In terms of our off-seasons coming up, we've got some exciting stuff to do as well. We have signed up to the CSS 24-hour charity event, raising money for cancer research. So excited to see us compete on that, see how we can do. Got a decent lineup of drivers, the people you know and love from Division 1, 2 and 3. 13 driver lineup right now. We have got myself, Flavors, Phantom, Gabri, Kart Racer, Sully, Dylan, Killer Swag, Numi, Jeremy, Mihai, Nordic Ninja, and B Numbers Cole as our 13-man lineup. If you'd like to get involved in that, hit me up. We've still got some time left until we have to confirm our roster, so I can still add people. Outside of that, we have got the GT7 race, a 3-hour endurance race at the Nordschleife. With GT3 cars, and I believe is the LMU race happening? Do you know anything about that?
I have not seen anything on that, sadly. I was really excited about that, but there's not much updates going
Okay.
on with that.
So that there may or may not be a race on Le Mans Ultimate as well. Probably not. But if you are really interested in that, you can hit us up, and if we have more interest, it's more likely it happens. Because I think that was the main reason, I guess, people didn't get to organizing a whole lot. We had, I think, 8 drivers for it, which is something to start with, but it would need quite a bit of advertisement and getting people involved to be able to do it. So we'll see if we get people for that. If we do, we'll have alongside the Gran Turismo race also a race on Le Mans Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean it would be fun. I would definitely take myself part in it, as the game is really nice to drive. I enjoy the game. Obviously, I have a bit of wheel issues right now, so that could delay me driving in it. But maybe I could stream it then. Who knows?
All right. Yeah. Well. Anything left to say on your end?
I'm excited to see the next week's race. As you said, it's the reverse grid, and for the final race, we have something excited for the guys who are watching. So definitely, if you're here today, make sure to tune in for both of those last 2 rounds.
Yeah, well said. I can only agree. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a good evening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to the drivers putting on a great show for us. And see you all next week for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Division 2, Round 17, the second class round of the season, and a chance for Garbrick to wrap up the championship. Finally, his first championship that will be in Division 2. He's been trying for it since Season 10. Can't wait to see how that plays out.